All right, everyone, welcome back to the podcast. Gravity Train the podcast. My name is Bruno. I am the posture coach and the founder of GT, and I'm here with my dad.
Yes, I'm Cleber, Bruno's dad, and I'm the running coach for Gravity Train, a separate branch of the business that is dedicated to runners and people into endurance sports. So together, me and Bruno are going to explore different topics associated with health and fitness. So our mission is pretty simple here. It's just to help you understand yourself better and develop a healthier relationship to fitness. So today our topic is the skin in the game. So this is going to be an interesting topic, Bruno. So I'll let you start with this. What do we mean when you say skin in the game?
Yeah, so this topic of skin in the game actually came up a couple weeks ago when I was with my client, and me and him were talking about something related to his personal life, where there were certain people in his life that kind of were jealous of him and that were sort of making his life difficult. And we were kind of unpacking this relationship that he had with these people and how where he is in life today compared to compared to where these people that he's having problems with are in life today. They're very different. And part of why he's where he is today is because he put skin in the game, because he risked things in his life in order to get to where he is today. And these people that he's having these hard times with do not. They haven't put skin in the game. They've played it safe, and so they're not where they want to be, and they're unwilling to change. They're unwilling to put themselves out there to risk something in order to get that reward. And so I thought it was really interesting because we ended up talking about fitness and how when I first started training him, he had terrible posture. Confidence wasn't where it is today. And he put skin in the game, man. And skin in the game for, in this context, me and my client was money. He put money down. He put time down. He put his ego down. And he put it all out there. He's like, I'm willing to change and put something on the table that I'm okay losing, because I know if I do get that return, it's going to be more than what I put down. And that's where this topic started. Skin in the game. You have to be willing to lose something in order to get something, because you can't get things for free, right? Nothing in this world is for free. And if it is for free, it's probably not the best.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. And this is a topic that we actually don't think about too often. And people, when they have a tendency to give their opinion or judge you for what you do. And I can tell a short story here that happened to me. This like a few years ago, because I mean, most people that I know that I'm involved, they get inspired because I like posting my workouts, my runs, you know. This one particularly, I believe, was like 3, 4, 5 years ago, and I was training for the Ironman. I'm not sure if it was the first or second one. I believe it was my first Ironman, and I was so excited, so pumped up on that thing, and then I would get excited for my progress, you know, and I would talk to people, and then I had this guy that actually just posted there, "You show off." Is that the word? That's the way you say, right?
Yeah.
Man, I got like so pissed with that guy, and this just came back to my mind now that we're talking about this skin in the game. Then I looked at that guy, but he's a guy totally out of shape. And then that was pure envy that he didn't have the courage to put the skin in the game. And that's exactly what we're talking about here. Because, I mean, if you're committed when you do, no matter what, if it is like a little bit, some, or a lot, put your skin in the game. Commit to it. But some people are ready to stab you, to judge you about the things that you're proud of. And that was one case. I don't remember anybody else that actually did a comment like that, but because everybody else actually put messages like an encouragement. How can you do this? I mean, I want to follow you on this journey. I want to do this. I want to do that. So that encourages me as well to help even more people. So, so that's so annoying when you hear something like that.
Yeah. Um, when people have these goals, like the one that you had of completing an Ironman, or myself, with doing a competition, you know, because there are people like that shit on us, right? That kind of like discourage us or tell us that we're show offs. Sometimes it feels better to not even share our process or our goals. And sometimes I just don't even want to share. I just want to share the result, but not the process, you know? And but I do feel that by doing that, we do people a disservice by hiding by hiding the sacrifice and by hiding the sort of the struggle to get to the finish line. And that's sort of like also putting skin in the game. Look, I'm gonna put myself out there to be judged, but I know that certain people are gonna get a massive benefit from this. You know?
Yeah, but sometimes I feel like a kid as well. I mean, I can't deny that I like showing what I do because, I mean, for me, my whole life, up to a certain point, until I was like a 50, I actually started like with a martial arts 45 something. I didn't do anything. So anything that I did and that I do, I'm very proud of. And the same way that I feel that I'm proud of, I'm doing this. I want to share. Look at me here. It's like Mauricio. We have a friend that he has his kid. It's fun because we were at the pool in the summer, and then Matthew was like, I never forgot that. I never forgot that. And he was jumping on the trampoline, right? Matthew, hey, dad. And then Mauricio talking to me like in another subject. Hey, Dad, look at me, look at me. And this, what the heck? Right, okay, go, Matt. And then boom, he jumps, right? And then Mauricio says, so what's the fun of it if you can show anybody? So that got stuck to my mind, man. It's
Yeah.
so funny. Of course you do that for yourself, but I mean, you feel like a kid when
Yeah.
you're actually progressing and you're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
It's
I
for
wonder.
yourself.
Yeah, I wonder if there's a difference because yeah, I remember when I was growing up, I would want to always be like, look at me, look at me, look at me, right? Of course, this is what
Yeah.
kids do. But I wonder if because I'm much younger than you and I'm from a generation where uh, posting
Excuse
online kind of I grew up with that, right? I grew up with posting online. I wonder if there's like a difference where I'm sort of like I don't want to post online. I just want to do the thing and not share with anyone compared to when you were my age or younger, you didn't have a way to share,
No,
right?
no, no.
So yeah. And so there's sort of like this like reversal of now I don't want to share. Now I just want to share the result instead of the process. And people because I notice online a lot of older folks now, they're posting everything, man. They're sharing everything, and And I know it seems maybe people my age are starting to share a little bit less. There's a movement now of going back to analog, where basically get rid of your phone, go back to like a landline, get rid of your iPhone, your iPhone, and get like a iPod, kind of disconnect. So I don't know, maybe there's something there. Um, and that's like a totally different topic, right? So go ahead.
Yeah, no, but I feel you, about this. But at the same time, when people, the way I feel, it's a double sword thing here, because it's like showing behind the scenes, right? When people see me, like you ran 100 miles, ran 100K, 50 miles, you do an Ironman and this stuff. I mean, people, okay, wow, it's fun, it's nice, okay, wow, he do that, but I mean, what actually had to happen before that day that I completed? So that's this whole process. That's 1, 2, 3 years grinding. So, and that's what these posts are for, showing the behind the scenes kind of a show. That's, and you got to enjoy this process because, I mean, the day of the competition is just another day. You're just going to do what you trained like 1, 2, 3 years uh, to achieve. So that's why I think it's valid to show people what you're doing there, and see what it takes. And in some cases, that's intimidating because then people start thinking, well, what does this guy do that he can train every day? I mean, right now, today, I have more time, but there were a time that I didn't have enough time. I had to give up things. I have to give up family time, work time, sleep time, couch time, TV time. I mean, a lot of things that I had to give up to put my skin in the game. So to achieve the things that I want. So the people don't should not be afraid. You should really dive in and commit to it. That's what skin in the game means at the end of the day. Don't you agree, Bruno?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's letting go of everything that I mean, maybe not everything, but you have to let go of things that you enjoy in order to do things that maybe right now you don't like, right? It's hard to put on your shoes and go for a run when you're tired. It's hard to go into the gym when you're tired, but it's it's what I think it's what makes us human is to be able to sacrifice immediate reward for future rewards, right? It's a delayed gratification. At the end of the day, I feel like that's what skin in the game is just having the ability to delay gratification. Just don't do the thing that you want to do now to do more of what you want to do in the future. I have a client of mine who who said, I love what he said. He says, I operate under the understanding that I'm gonna want more tomorrow than what I want today. So I'm not gonna get everything I want. I'm not gonna like you spend all my money today because I know I'm gonna want more tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, and I really like that. It's really a smart way of thinking it. Like, you're always gonna want more tomorrow, right? So why don't you just think about it that way? Train a little bit more, train like a little bit today, and then you'll be a little bit better tomorrow. Instead of, oh, tomorrow I'll have more energy. And then what happens tomorrow? Tomorrow's never
Yeah.
promised twice.
This is disappointing with me, at least with some of my athletes, and they will know when they look at this podcast. Uh, but well, some of them maybe not because they don't speak English, only Portuguese. But it's disappointing because the excuse is that I didn't have time to do it because I mean the train was I mean, 50 minutes, 1 hour. But I always tell, if you can do an hour, do 15 minutes, but do it because it will add up. And for new athletes that start, I mean, I have this girl that she's like in Belgium now. She's a young girl. She has some heart problems. And then she starts she's starting with 15 minutes run, 20 minutes run, and that's what I told her. I mean, we're going to have to build, and she can only go, her doctor told her that she can only, the max she could actually go for in terms of race would be like a 10 mile. Because, I mean, she's 23, 24. She has this heart disease. Um, so, but even though sometimes she cannot do 15 minutes, and then she doesn't do it. So that's frustrates me. But at the same time, I understand that people have their own lives. In her case, it's more problematic. But for other people, if you could not run, you do the some strength workout. You can do half an hour, do 20 minutes, 15 minutes. And the story keeps repeating excuses. It They're missing skin in the game.
Yeah, I think one thing that helped me put skin in the game was understanding that at the end of the day, the person that's most going to be disappointed is myself. You know,
Yeah.
like my coach, my teacher, he tells me, like when I was studying music, practice 15, 20, an hour a day, practice your drums every day. And then I would come to class and I wouldn't practice and I would be ashamed, right? I would be ashamed of not having the exercise. But I wouldn't care so much that he didn't feel happy. It was I felt ashamed that, man, I have talent and I didn't spend my time perfecting myself,
Yeah.
right?
And it's even worse when you know that you could if you had just gave up whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. And so putting skin in the game, what ends up happening is you end up learning self-respect too, right? You learn self-respect. You go, man, I respect myself enough that I'm gonna do it. Even though I might not do what the professor's asking me to do, all of it, right? If the exercise is a whole hour and I can only do 20 minutes, the professor isn't gonna be like, why didn't you do an hour? And I feel like maybe that's a whole nother conversation of like maybe a guilt or shame or something like that. But like at the end of the day, you're doing this for yourself. And if you're not putting yourself out there, then there's something you have to think about. There's something you think about. So I think we talked about it in another podcast about habits and scripts. Did we talk about this last time about scripts in your brain? No, this was a
Yeah,
private
no.
conversation, you and me. Maybe we can talk about this right now, just a little bit of like, how can you put skin in the game, right? So it's the new year now. It's January 3rd, 14th, okay, 2026. And this past week and or a half, 2 weeks, I've been helping some of my clients make their goals, right? Their quarterly and yearly and just like kind of big picture goals. And so we do these exercises like visualize your life when you've achieved your goal. Why do you want to achieve your goal and all that stuff? We'll do that. I have a blog post on that on the website. So, but I want to talk about this part right here. And part of hitting your goals is having habits that allow you to not procrastinate, right? And so there's this formula that I learned that basically goes if, then. So if I don't have an hour to work out, then I do 15 minutes. And so it's like if you can just plug in that equation into areas that you'll usually put excuses in. For example, if I don't have an hour, then it's not worth going to the gym at all, right?
You got to
Boom.
eliminate that.
You just change it. Just make it something that's doable. That equation is so powerful for people that are struggling with putting fucking skin in the game. Just make the sacrifice small enough, right? To where you feel proud of yourself, because that's really what it boils down to, is you want to know that I did something good for myself.
Yeah, this is so important, Bruno. And it's funny we're talking about this now. That last night, your mom and I mean, she said we gotta watch this movie. You gotta watch this movie, but it's not on Netflix. It's only on YouTube, and it's a Christian movie, and it's called The Forge. Forge, uh, like a sword when you forge like on fire. Is that the word?
Forge.
Forge. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm glad you're here. The Forge. So this is pretty much a story of this kid that was his dad. I'm gonna be pretty short in here. His dad like took off, left him, and his mom living there. The guy used to promise do this, do that, and never did. Just procrastinate. And this kid got stay with that in his mind. But then he wasn't a bad kid, but he just was always playing basketball and video games. That's what he did. And he was 19 years old, right? His mom was kind of a very religious. And then he went to this gym because his mom told him, okay, you're not going to stay here, my son. I love you, but you're not going to stay here. You're going to look for a job. So he ended up going to this gym where he talked to this very rich guy. He produces like things for gyms, basically. So this guy was Christian, but he didn't know. So he ended up that the guy, okay, I have a job here. You want a full time or you want like a part time job? He comes and say, well, part time, right? But the kid didn't even look at the in the eye. It's kind of a like the skateboard kids that are out there. So, but then the guy told him, okay, all right, uh, you don't have to answer this now. You can answer, you can go home, think about it before you answer these questions. So let's see if I remember the three questions. Let's see how my memory is. So the first question was, what do you want to do here? Right? Do you know what we want to do? That was one question. The second question, um, what where you want to be in 5 years, right? Where you look yourself in 5 years, right? And then the third question is, what do you want people to think when they look at you, right? So this thing put him to really think, and took him like a week to go back to the guy. He answered the questions. So he ended up saying that whatever he wanted to do there, but what most impressed me is that he wanted to be respected when people look at him, and how you gain this respect is when you actually respect others. That's when you really get respect. When you respect others, you get your respect. And for the things that you do, for the things that you do for the others, and all that. And it's a signature when you do the things for yourself and you don't just take it for granted, your day to day. And that's what we see out there. I mean, a lot. I think the world is changing, but people disregard their health, their daily basis, like a physical, spiritual, uh, pretty much just two things here, like in mental, right? So that's where health comes into play here, and that's why I don't know if this whole story made sense, if you're even gonna keep this in the podcast, but I thought that was important to people, even if they want to go and look at this movie.
All right, you guys, sorry for a little bit of the kind of the chaotic little ending there. My neighbors, I guess, decided to call the landscapers at the most inconvenient time. But let's just kind of wrap this up because they're not going to stop. And so there's plenty of houses near me here. Um, I would just like to just make it very clear the message of what we're trying to get to today, right? I think me and my dad are on the same page, and I want us all to be on the same page, which is ultimately if you're not something on the line, then your return is just not going to happen, right? It's just not going to happen. You have to sacrifice something in order to get something back. And that's basically it. Just a little side tangent because yesterday I thought this was really cool. My client, so I was at the gym yesterday working, and I'm walking out of the gym to go to my next client, and I see her walking in, and I'm like, I never see you walking in. And she's like, I'm just going for 10 minutes. You told me a little bit goes a long way, and she was like, I'm putting skin in the game right now. I just want to do 10 minutes. It's not much, but at least I know I came and did something. And that really made me happy. I was like, yeah, man, that's what it's about. No excuses. Just freaking come 10 minutes and that's it. There's no reason why you can't do 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, there's no reason. There's no reason.
Everyone
Yeah,
has 10 minutes, man. You're scrolling on your phone, you're on your TV, you're doing something for 10 minutes that you could just do some lunges, do some squats, you
yeah,
know?
that's
It's
it. That's it.
yeah.
You don't even need to come to the gym. I particularly don't even like going to the gym.
Yeah.
I do everything right here in my living room. Or no, if not, if I'm running, I just go to one of these gyms on the street by the beach. And by the way, I'm actually in Portugal. Bruno is in Hawaii. So
And we're putting skin in the game by making this damn thing work,
yeah, absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
This is
Yeah.
my day
And one
off.
of my goals here, I actually put on my resolution is that we do at least at least 40 podcasts this year.
All
That's
right.
in my resolution, right?
Nice.
We have 52 weeks. We're supposed to do one per
One a week.
week.
Yeah.
So, but I know that we'll have this, you know, like last week we couldn't do, but yeah, 40 at least.
We can do that.
All right.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Awesome. Always awesome to do this with you,
Yeah.
Bruno.
Okay. All right, folks. Thank you for sticking around this long. Please like and share and subscribe. Of course, I should have said that in the beginning of the video. But yeah, a comment if you have anything you want us to talk about, and we will see you on the next one next week.
Absolutely. Yep. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Appreciate that.